Greetings, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. Have you had your social media account recently zucked or your YouTube channel needlessly demonetized? Suffice it to say, you are far from alone. Do you ever think and ponder on exactly why your local congressional representative and/or senators do absolutely zippo regarding your civil liberties being trampled upon almost daily? What will it take for the vast majority of lethargic, lackadaisical U.S. citizens to finally take some sort of action to right the ship? Have you by chance heard of the great laydown epidemic in mainland China, whereby millions of younger people simply refuse to work and take their dutiful part in the Chinese economy? I ask you, my viewers, if we are not seeing the same epidemic in the United States of America, only in the area of actually demanding more of your governmental leadership in this case. I covered in my last video how many foreign sources have done everything they can to stifle constitutionally guaranteed freedom of speech within the USA as of late. So why is that even allowed to go on by our elected officials? In fact, the floodgates have been widely opened under the current illegitimate administration to allow anyone and everyone to freely enter our nation, and suffice it to say that many of them are from nations lacking in civil liberties, so they often want to change the U.S. to be like what they remember back where they came from. Back in 2019, Houston Rockets executive Daryl Morey posted on his Twitter account, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong," specifically regarding a situation where communist tyrannical thugs were forcibly taking over the Democratic Autonomous Zone by beatings, imprisonments, and other brutality. What ensued was the formerly thought to be free speech backing National Basketball Association smooching the asses of the communist tyrants early and often and trying to downplay the comment, and to force Mr. Morey to take the posting down from his Twitter account. Houston Rockets star James Harden later kissed even harder, pun intended, and apologized to the brutal Chinese regime. Why do I mention this incident? Hold on. Fast forward to the fraudulent 2020 presidential election. We now know that the CIA conspired to throw the election for criminal Biden by claiming the Hunter Biden laptop from hell was, quote, Russian disinformation, even though it had already been proven to be completely factual. Had the U.S. populace known that the laptop was, in fact, legitimately Hunter Biden's, it is widely known that the election would have gone to one Donald Trump. Worth mentioning is that even with the crooked CIA conspiring a coup d'etat within U.S. borders, it still took Zuckerberg, Pichai, and Dorsey many crimes to secure the stolen presidency for Felon Joe. We're talking about banning accounts, blocking content, and demonetizing Americans for simply stating the truth, along with financing fraud at local polling stations. Why have no class action suits been filed against the fascist media giants by now is beyond me. There are millions of dollars to be had, and they are plenty ripe for the picking. With these crimes, multiple millions of Americans had their rights to freedom of speech trampled upon, and all without even the slightest whimper from the Congress or anyone else professing to represent American citizens. Lately, we are seeing entire governments come against tech giants for freedom of speech, and nothing gets said. On August 24th of this year, French authorities detained Telegram CEO Pavel Durov when his private plane landed in France. Since then, the French prosecutor has revealed that Durov's detention was related to an ongoing investigation begun in July of an unnamed person. The investigation involves complicity in crimes presumably taking place on the Telegram platform, failure to cooperate with law enforcement requests for the interception of communication on the platform, and a variety of charges having to do with failure to comply with French cryptography and port regulations. On August 28th, Durov was charged with each of those offenses, among others not related to Telegram, and then released on the condition that he checks in regularly with French authorities and not leave France. What we have here, for all intents and purposes, is the French government pressuring a tech CEO to give up private user records by threatening him with prison time. That should run a chill up each of our spines. Just last week, Brazil announced that they were banning X, formerly known as Twitter, from their nation on the grounds of their judicial system, deeming that Elon Musk, ex-CEO, must immediately block certain accounts for what they deemed as fake news, along with refusing to identify a legal representative within the country. All this, and the U.S. government has said nada to the Brazilian speech police. It does make sense, though, considering Felon Joe's attempts to establish a fascist disinformation governance board in 2022, headed by leftist Nina Jankowicz. Harkening back to the swastika-wielding days of the 1930s Germany, the board was quickly and thankfully disbanded by much pressure from key Republicans and some in conservative media. Then this week, the National Football League proceeded to hold its first ever regular season game in Brazil between the Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles. Why would an American sports league even hold an event in a fascist nation just after they pulled a stunt like they did? Wokeness runs rampant, now make it go broke. So here we are in the 21st century United States of America, a nation founded upon freedom of expression and freedom of speech, but one where seemingly daily news accounts of those rights are trampled upon, and elected representatives do not even murmur a bit. While not specifically backing a single political party over the other, it is safe to say that the Democratic Party of the past 10 years or so has been despicable, if nothing else. And as such, they have been at the forefront of the dismantling of free American culture at every turn. Suffice it to say, I am not affording any earth-shattering news with that statement. Those who back the Republican political party have been largely censored, banned, blocked, spat upon, accused of everything under the sun, and otherwise crushed underfoot by the leftist Marxists who have done everything within their powers to ruin a once great nation. In case you've been on another planet for a while, it is past time for people with any sense of decency to stand up against the cultural riptide that has been swirling and pushed by the woke liberals for far too long. They have proven that they will fight every conservative, decent, honest American they can with their debased agenda and at every opportunity. Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini would be proud of the modern woke progressive Nazis and their efforts to quash anyone who does not agree with them. So what is a person to do? Well, it has now been determined that your elected government does not care a bit about your soon-to-be-gone constitutional rights. You will have to speak out at every opportunity. The more silent the right remains, the easier it is for their rights to be trampled underfoot. Why would anyone respect a person who sits idly by and allows the bully to steal their lunch money? They don't have to, and you have to yet stand up to that bully. If we as a society do not want woke progressives making all the rules from bully pulpits, then we must proverbially punch said bully in the face. NBA gone woke? Stop watching their garbage games and buying their jerseys. NFL said Zippo as freedom of speech was quashed in their partner Brazil? Stop tuning to the TV to their games and buying their tickets to games. Disney done went and demanded that you allow transsexual demons into your child's classrooms? Simply cancel your Disney Plus streaming subscription and permanently tune out ESPN. This isn't difficult, my viewers. You saw the title of this video. You gotta fight for your rights and party affiliation. The Beastie Boys knew it. Now stop taking it lying down. Good night and sleep well.